Hello and welcome to Divine Messages with Max and Polly. I am your host, Max Ryan, and my colleague, Polly Wirum, who's right down there. She will be saying hello in just a second. We want to welcome you to our show. This is our second show. This show is all based on divine messages. What we do here, Polly and I, are both intuitives. We both work with spirit, and we are delivered messages. We open up to the divine source, we open up to spirit guides, and we even open up to possibly your loved ones on the other side. And we believe very strongly that these messages that come through us are universal messages for you watching and for our participants today. We have no script. We have not planned anything at all because we do, as I said, connect with spirit so that we get the messages that are meant to be instead of the ones we might want to hear, because we believe strongly here that the ego might be like, I want this, I want this, I want this, but spirit's saying, no, actually you need to look at this thing over here. So we have no agenda, we don't know what will happen, and that's what makes this show so beautiful. And so welcome to the show. Our show is every Thursday at 3 o'clock Pacific time and 6 o'clock Eastern USA time, and actually 2 o'clock in Alaska, where my wonderful, incredible colleague Polly Wirum is. Hey, Polly.
Hi, Max. Thank you. Hello, Kelly, and hello, Melissa, and everybody joining us. I am Polly Wirum, and my business is Gateways to Peace, and that's with the number 2, Gateway, the number 2, so gateways2peace.com. I'm an intuitive, so I do readings, I do coaching, I do groups locally, and then in August, I'll be traveling down to Southern California to do an event with Max, and he was just here in Alaska a month ago, and I believe he's coming back in September to Alaska. So, and I love to travel, so this is working out great for me. But welcome to everybody.
So great, awesome. And I just tell you all, I never said it, but it's right down here. If you ever forget, we both have separate websites, and mine is Attract. Oh, I always go backwards. AttractPositiveResults.com, and you can find out anything that what I do there. We'll talk about at the end of the show how to contact us if you're interested in maybe more of a private reading. And as Polly said already, is that every show we have 2 guests, and these guests we do not know. We might have seen them on Facebook or maybe just a passing kind of knowing. We don't really know these people at all. And so our guests today are Kelly, and Melissa. So they are coming from Mississippi and Los Angeles. So we will be giving them readings along with the divine messages that are coming through also. So Polly, I think that that's it. I think that we should just get right into it and start with our centering prayer.
Awesome. Thank you, Max. Okay, so if everybody would join us in taking a nice big breath in, breathing in peace, breathing in love, breathing in that divine knowing, connecting with it, and releasing all that troubles you, all the fears, everything that is not of you, releasing, and becoming aware of your wholeness within, your connection to the divine. You're supported by angels, by guides, by all the loving divine energy is within us and all around us. We have a beautiful circle around us today. We'll take these messages that we learned today, carry them with us, and the insight that we gained today, carry that with us. And the love that is shared today, we will carry that with us and share with others. And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Just so everyone out there knows, I work with a master guide. His name is Gawain. Don't even really need to know that, but he usually is over here, and I will get messages from him or from Divine Source straight through. And I have definitely a very strong message right at the beginning, right here from Gawain. Okay, thank you. He's trying to help us to understand that that humanity at this time is really at a precipice. He's saying that there is a precipice that's happening for humanity right now, and this precipice is really this kind of this new. Well, actually, no, thank you. He's saying that actually it's a reverse back to how we are at our core. And this new precipice is a new way of thinking, a new way of being. It's new economics. It's new in business. It's new in, and actually he's saying that this is actually new in how our homes are made, how everything is made, and we're starting to feel it. We're starting to feel it on this level. Thank you very much. So he's saying that we're all starting to feel this thing. Thank you. But many of us are fearful of actually jumping in the pool. That's what he's saying, of jumping in the pool of this new way of being. And the old, thank you, the old paradigms are all falling apart. All the old paradigms are falling apart, and the new paradigms are sitting underneath the old paradigms, waiting to be birthed again. Thank you. He just told me, yeah, thank you. He told me, he's like, no, it's not new, it's the old. It's who we are as a species. Who we are as a species is one. We are one, we are one, we are one. We have forgotten about that through many different things. Thank you. He says there's no blame in anyone. There's no blame at all. It's just the natural progression of the human evolution. The natural progression is to awake, sleep. Awake, sleep. Oh, that's interesting. So he's saying, everyone that's listening to this right now, just think of what's happening with humanity is exactly what happens to you when you go to sleep at night. Thank you. When you go to sleep at night and you kind of forget everything that you know, and then you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm back. That's exactly what's happening to humanity. We've kind of fell asleep, and now we're coming awake again. We're in the. He just told me it's kind of 4 or 5 a.m. for humanity right now, which means it's like we're like, oh, we're going to be getting up at 7. We're going to be getting up at 7. I hope that makes sense. And he's saying very soon there's going to be a critical mass, and there's going to be a tipping point where everyone goes, oh boy, we got to wake up, bing, and that is going to change what war is. It's going to change what economics is. It's going to change how we relate to each other. It's going to change the whole. Oh, thank you. He's telling me that all the internet and all the electronics and exactly, thank you, what we're using right now is kind of is a precursor. It's a precursor, and it's a preview of how we will be able to have no borders with each other. Thank you very much. Yeah. And so, okay, I know. You need to wrap it up. Hold on a second. So okay. Okay, so I want to get, he's saying everyone that's in fear, everyone that's freaking out about their job, about not being successful, about not having their relationship, or about not having their goals reached, let it go. Because the goal of humanity is being reached right now. The more you let go of that goal, the more you will have peace, and the more you have peace, the faster that this new paradigm, that's more of a horizontal paradigm than a hierarchical paradigm, is really going to start kicking into gear. So, okay. So really, everyone listening to this message, he just wants to tell you, let go of all of your stuff that you're not successful, that you haven't gotten there yet. You're already there, he's saying. You're already there. So just take that with you, and, okay, thank you. All right, he's telling me to tell that. Okay, so I will tell all of you. As you can tell, this is me now speaking. A lot comes through really quickly. You can rewind this tape, and you can listen more to it, because he wants you to listen to some of those very specifics that we were talking to that just flew out of my mouth. Um, okay, so thank you. So he says, throw it to Polly. So Polly, it's all yours.
Thank you. So we talked about the paradigm before and the tipping point. And know that this paradigm is of change, it's of recreation, it's of really that there's been misunderstandings in the past. And as Max and okay, they're coming through me right now, but I'm just going to share with you as Max was talking, it's almost like if you feel things are being removed from you, like things are literally being stripped away, you are being supported still, and so know that, even though sometimes you feel like things are literally being taken away, but you are being supported. And then you notice that, like, if you look down in your hands, you have some wealth. It's a different type of wealth. So the key to that is understanding that what used to be considered wealth, or what might be considered wealth now, I mean, we will always have wealth. That is going to change. And a lot of it is going to be elemental, like elements. I'm not really sure how or why. To me, that it doesn't necessarily make sense. But our ideas of wealth, our values, all these ideas are being recreated. This is the paradigm shift. This is what's happening. And everybody has, it does bring in more equality. Everybody has a chance of greater understanding of why this is occurring and how this occurred. People are going to be able to are going to be able to look at the big picture and understand how and why this occurred. But to know that even as we feel like we are having some things being removed from us, we're fully supported, and it's really a different wealth, a different commerce, a whole different social system, a whole different social structure that will be taking place. And actually, I'm hearing in the very near future, this is actually already being established in some other countries right now. So there's a different social structure, different cues, and cues being a key word I'm hearing right now, and that meaning the way people communicate. There's going to be subtle communication changes, differences, and the cues, I'm not really sure why that's such an important word, but it is an important word. It's understanding how to react differently. So things that might get a reaction now, 2 years from now, might elicit a completely different reaction. And so it's kind of learning these social norms and these social cues that are going to be changing with us and for us. So it's, for lack of anything else, it's a really interesting time for us, for sure. So thank you. Max, can I say one thing?
Of course.
When we were talking, I think like when Max was doing the intro, the name Shelley came up. Does Shelley mean anything to anybody? The name Shelley? Okay. No?
I have an Aunt Shelley.
Okay. Is she with us or is she passed?
She's here on Earth with us. She's a state over, actually.
Oh, because I heard the name Shelley, and so I was like, it doesn't mean anything to me. But sometimes it means something to people coming. So there might be something for her later on.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Good. Okay. I obviously, I work intuitively straight through, and I also work with cards. These are tarot cards, and I just pull up immediately. I was feeling this actually. It's very interesting. Thank you, Melissa. Hi, Melissa. How are you? Can you hear me? You can unmute your microphone now because we'll be talking back and forth.
Hi, yes.
Hey, I got this from you when I first was talking to you earlier than before we started the broadcast. I feel like that there's thank you. There's a reevaluation happening with you. There's a whole reevaluation happening with you. This is exactly what I was feeling before. I was like, she's reevaluating everything. I don't know what she's reevaluating. It's either her relationship or career, or it's her life path. I don't know exactly. Thank you. So my guide's telling me, of course, you can choose your path. There is no there is kind of fate, but you can make it destiny. And we're never ever really like oh, you have to be this. So you could always co-create with the universe, and that's what he's telling me right now. And he's feeling like you're kind of stepping back around something that's like, I need to relook at my life. I really need to look at my career or relationships. It's a kind of a pulling back so you can refocus, kind of like getting a clearer a lens on the camera about this area of your life. And it's so interesting because then as I was pulling cards, I got the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups, if you can see it, it's hard with this. The Eight of Cups really represents this kind of withdrawal feeling. This feeling of like, I need to just step back, and the cups are about emotions. There's a feeling about emotionally for you, Melissa, there's a feeling of like, I'm stepping back emotionally so I don't, okay, thank you, so I don't either get hurt or I don't put myself in the same situation where I'm either used or something like that. Does any of what I'm talking about right now, Melissa, make sense to you?
Totally, yeah.
Okay,
Totally.
well, hold on before you say anything, Melissa, because I also have stuff and I don't want it to be skewed when you add, because it's along the same lines.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So all I need to know is that this is feeling right to you, right, Melissa?
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. And one of the things that it's funny because I follow intuition. I do not always do a card reading in that very rigid way. It doesn't work for me. So it's funny because I turned the cards over and I picked the Eight of Cups out of the middle of the deck, and then I turned the card over and I was like, oh, you get the Three of Rods. The Three of Rods is all about too much effort. You've been putting too much effort into something, and this too much effort is making you go, oh, I got to redesign. I got to look back, because something has felt like it's either not giving you the results that you want, or it's just kind of draining you. And it feels more like a business thing to me. Feels more like maybe it's a business thing. Like you've been trying too hard in this area, and it's making you have to pull back. That's what I'm getting right now. I'm not sure if that's really the right thing, but that's what the Three of Rods is all about. So, Polly, do you want to add something to that?
I do.
Go ahead.
So, Melissa, before we started talking, when I was thinking, kind of tuning in with you, and I wrote down some of the stuff I got, but I did see how your life is somewhat compartmentalized. Like this is in this portion, and this in it's compartmentalized. And I believe it's also work. Also, I don't know if you're aware that you have something is very short order for you. I don't know if you've already planned a different career change or something, but in a very short amount of time, you stop going in the direction you're going, and it's a change of, I actually got like operating manual, it's reevaluating, rethinking, like what Max was saying. It's also the ability for you to oversee differently. And I was like seeing, like if you were literally like in a plane looking down, you have the ability for a broader picture. So you're going to be put, and almost, when I say broader, it's almost allowing you to be more compassionate and more, like to really look at more people, like overlooking like more people and how the whole picture works together. And I believe you also have some travel plans coming up. But the work thing, does that, and it's very much going along with what Max was saying also.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And the work thing is really connected to your emotional life. There's something about, there's something about your, I'm going to be very transparent for just a second, is that I do know a little bit of Melissa, what Melissa does, but I don't know everything what you do. But it's a very different path for you than many people that can just work and not be connected to what they work. I mean, some people it's totally fine. They're like, I can work and not be connected, and it doesn't even mean anything to me, and I get a paycheck. That is not you. And because of that, that's brought you to this almost being, this is going to sound like a judgment, but it's not at all. It almost being kind of too emotional with your work, and that's why you have to pull back and go, okay, let me just kind of get clear about what I really want to achieve, and and stuff like that. Does that make sense, Melissa?
Totally, yes, it does.
Yeah. Are you going through a shift in your business?
So basically, for many years, I've been doing coaching in music, and I've been shifting back and forth where I've kind of, so just recently I've came back to coaching. It's almost like my artist is going, no, but you're an artist. Don't do too much coaching. People, so it was this confused kind of like, so I finally came to a place where my number one thing is I love helping people with everything that I do, and what it is that I do is I teach or offer authentic presence and expression. So my music is one of my sort of authentic expressions. So it's almost like I have to somehow put it in my brain so that it makes sense so that I can do my work. And in both of those, I've been hiding, like holding back, because it does take so much to connect that way, whether as a musician, because a lot of my songs are about oneness, and I come from former Yugoslavia and all that stuff, country of war, and it's my expression, my authentic expression. And then with coaching, it's very intimate. So both those things have kind of had me to pull back, because it takes a lot to share that way and to connect that way. So when you said that my work requires me to really be there, it's true. So I'm a little bit like, like connecting with me so that I can go there and be this, whatever it is. Yeah.
That's interesting. I love that. Thank you so much. I'm going to say something just as me as a coach right now, is that I want to just kind of encourage you, is that there's not boxes. It's just all Melissa.
Right.
It's all Melissa. It's all the same thing. No matter what, it's kind of like me, on some level. It's like, I'll be like, well, no, I'm a coach. No, I'm an intuitive. No, wait, I'm an actor. No, I'm an artist. No, I'm a writer. And it's like the recipe for insanity on some level. And I'll just tell you this really quickly, is that I remember watching Rosie O'Donnell when she had her TV show, when she was huge, when she had her own show, and she was creating a foundation, she was writing books, she was doing her show, she was starting a family, she was having children, she was getting married, and I looked at her and I was like, what the heck? How can you do all of the... And I was like, aha, because she doesn't delineate. It's all just her. It's all just her. And I think that that's kind of a message that I want to give you as a coach, and I think that that's a kind of message that might help you right now, too. It's like, if you're doing your music, it's okay. If you're doing your coaching, it's okay. It's all, and I think that that's the withdrawal part, that you have to look back and go, all of this is just Melissa. Whatever, and you're a creative being, and the creative spirit, some people don't have such a creative spirit like you do, and that's not judgment, but the creative spirit needs to be like, yeah, that's another expression, it's another expression, and all the expressions are okay because they come under the umbrella of Melissa and her gifts to the world.
Thank you.
And I think that goes with what I was saying, how I saw it very compartmentalized. And that's very short-lived. So I don't know if if you're aware of that yet, but you have the ability to blend them together. I can see how you can blend them together. And so, because when I was seeing it compartmentalized, it's almost kind of harsh. Because it's not as easy. When to have something really compartmentalized, you have those sharp edges, those dividing points. Not so easy to live with.
Yes, thank you.
So,
I have to jump in here. When I picked up my cards and we were talking, one of the cards fell out, and I'm always like, well, who knows, whatever. Okay, the Two of Pentacles, and if you know anything about the Tarot, the Two of Pentacles Pentacles are all about business and money, okay? The Two of Pentacles, if you can see, it's someone kind of juggling. This or that, or this or that. Should I do this? Should I do that? Maybe I could do this, but maybe I could do that. But maybe it's kind of like, should I make this to make money, or should I do this to make money? It's completely what we were kind of just talking about, Melissa. That kind of like saying obviously there's two parts in this. You're juggling, but it's kind of juggling your stuff. Just really, I think it's another really strong indication for you to be like, you know what? You can juggle it all, and it's all you. It's all good. It's all
beautiful.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah. You can wear a lot of hats, and it's okay. It's okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I actually feel like you are going to be pulled. There's going to be an opportunity that comes up that you're actually going to be pulled I actually feel a little bit more musical. You're actually going to be pulled and have a big change.
Interesting.
But it's, I mean, so all of this is good. It's just this, I guess probably the big message is remembering to not, it's not going to be separated.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
the compartmentalization can go, because you really are going to have this much broader view. But I do feel like you're going to have this opportunity. Something is going to be laid in your lap, basically, like you are going to feel like this physical pull. It's to do something. So that'll be interesting. You'll have to let us know.
I will. Thank you so much.
And really, I'm just going to say one more thing, and then we're going to move on, is that my guide just comes up and tells me, she's a magnet. You're a magnet. You're definitely a magnet for people. There's something, you have that, thank you. He was like, you have the combination of mystery and warmth. And that's a very intriguing combination to so many people, to people just meeting you. They're like, they want to get to know you. You have a magnetic quality that people are like, what? See, I'm like, it's like, what? What's she about? What is she doing? Who is she? So that is part of who you are. So just allow that, you know, that is really wonderful. You kind of have that ability to attract people by just being you, which we all have. But you really have, and it's that mysterious with the warmth. It's a great, wonderful quality that you have.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, Holly, do you want to say anything, or is it something coming through for you?
Well,
I'm
Kelly,
shuffling some cards.
Yeah, I am too. So, but Kelly, I'd like to share with you, earlier, I was getting at first that you have like a curious nature. But at first, actually what came through first was cautious, but a curious nature. And then I was seeing like baby steps. But then I realized it's not so much that you're taking baby steps, it's actually that you feel you have to take baby steps because you don't feel like you can take like this full stride. Like there's things that you have to, there's other things that you have to take care of. You're not taking this full stride. And I even was seeing you kind of looking back at, you know, behind you and kind of still kind of like you would like all of you to catch up and be in the same place and be going towards these goals that you have. But I also feel like you're not 100%, you definitely don't know that you're you definitely have some dreams. So I'll leave it at that. And then before this, I was getting balloons celebration coming up near you. Is that happening with you? Any celebrations, any birthdays, anything like that?
There's always a birthday around here. I have 8 nieces and nephews, so, and yeah, holidays,
okay.
It's fun.
Yep. Okay. Did what I was saying, did any of that make sense to you? Like
the baby steps, yeah, I'm really OCD about this has to be taken care of before I feel comfortable with the next step or doing this big thing. All these things, all my ducks have to be in a row, yes.
Yeah. But you do have a curious nature. Like, you know, looking underneath the rock and seeing what's under there. You do have a curious nature. So even though you do the baby steps, you do have a curious nature. So the dreams, like, because I really feel like if you look up and you look in your future, I really feel like you know what you want. Like you have a dream. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Is it something that you're working towards?
Yeah, and it's the baby steps too. Yeah, it's a little bit at a time, and I mean, I don't know. I look back and go at it. You know, I should have been further along by now. So I'm pretty hard on myself about it.
Yeah, let that go.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that too.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah. Holly, were you going to say something?
Well, I'm just curious. One other thing, and then I'll pull a card. But while Max is talking, but one other thing. So I'm seeing like your future, like your dream future, really has lights in it, and then I actually see it could be like 2 words and then underlined. So I don't know if that's like a title of something, or is it just your name that would be underlined. But what is your dream?
Well, I'm writing a book. So
okay, so that's why it's underlined like a title. Okay. That's it. That's what I mean. That's why
it's neutral zones, 2 words.
Okay, perfect. So that is your dream, and so your big message as far as I'm concerned, the take-home message is don't give it up.
Yeah.
That's your dream.
For sure. For sure.
Okay.
I want to say something about, you know, when Polly was saying celebration around you or whatever. It's very funny because I picked a card for you, which is very much in line. I'm still holding it. I wanted to make sure everyone knew I didn't kind of just randomly or specifically pick this up. This is the holiday card, which really means celebration, take a break. There's something around you that needs to be, and this is my interpretation of that celebration kind of holiday, is that you, it's something inside of you, Kelly, is working overtime. Oh God, it's sort of similar to Melissa. It's interesting. You know, sometimes we get the same kind of messages. If there's a thing of you need to pull back. You're too involved in your life. That's what I'm getting. You're too involved in your life, and it's not letting you step back so you can work on your dream, so you can see your dream, so you can take a holiday from that and go, okay, well, this is what I want to do. Okay, yeah. Now I need to just be like, that's what I'm going to do. I want to move in that direction. I think that you have a lot of energy. But thank you. My guide is telling me very strongly, oh God, this is going to sound so corny. I say it all the time, but sometimes things come to me that sound corny, and I just have to tell you. It's a little bit for you, Kelly. It's about your self-esteem. There's a self-esteem thing that you don't really believe that you could be good enough. You don't really believe, because I'm not sure, but I don't think, thank you, I'm not sure that you've had many role models of successful people in your life.
Very true.
You haven't had a successful person in your, and when I say in your life, I mean literally we model the people that are around us. So your dreams are out here, but the people that you've seen, they've only gotten to here. So you can't really conceive, thank you, you can't completely conceive of it, but I'm telling you, you have the goods to make it happen. You have the goods, but you have to work on it. Thank you. He's telling me very, very specifically, you've got to start hanging around with different people.
Okay.
Your hold on one second, Polly, and I'll finish. Your circle of people needs to widen. So that you need to go to an area around you where there's super successful people, and just go hang out at a luncheon, go to a meetup, go see people that are like, wow, they are really doing well in their life. You need to bring inspire you, because I think that the people that inspire you right now are just in a book or they're on the internet. You need real people so that you can go, wow, I love that Jane. She's awesome. Look at she's a writer. She's successful. She has her own business. You need those people around you. Does that make sense, Kelly?
It makes perfect sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. Go ahead, Polly.
Okay, so on that, you know, having the real people, it's really, you need to let your secret out.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, your secret of your dream of what you're going to achieve. You got to let it out.
About it. Yeah.
Yeah. You do need to. And then this is just kind of interesting. So, you know, when I said that I literally feel like sometimes, you know, you feel like you're being held back, like people pulling on you, whatever. And and it was like almost like your right ankle. Like, does your right ankle ever bother you?
Actually, my left hip bothers me a lot lately, but I've always got a child wrapped around my ankle.
Yes, well, that's what I'm saying. It's like they're literally hanging on you.
Yeah, I have 8 nieces and nephews, and it's fun around here, but yeah.
Yeah, so you know what? Let your secret out. And I would even like to have you say that, what's today, the 23rd? So as of July 23rd, you are an author.
I like that. It felt good when you said that.
Yeah, so say it right now.
I'm an author.
Say your name now. Well, you don't have to say your last name if you don't want to, but I'd like you to say your first name.
Kelly is an author.
Awesome. So that's really important, because as of today, it's like you drew a line in the sand, because you have the ability. I saw the lights. I saw the 2 words underlined. It was a title. You have the ability. So it's now time to let your dreams out of the box.
Can you describe the lights that you saw?
Oh, you know, they're like lights like fame lights, you know, like the big lights, you know, like,
okay.
You know, just like lights. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, so that's waiting for you. So take yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say something too. Does your mother have a sister that's crossed over? Or your father, an aunt for you that's crossed over?
I have a strong connection to my Aunt Lou.
And she's on the other side?
Yes, but she's like a great aunt.
Right, okay. I'm like, that's why I'm not so specific. Sometimes when there's an aunt for you that's crossed over that is very much, she is very much your cheerleader, actually. She's kind of your cheerleader. She is somebody that, she's telling me in this moment, what's her name, Lou?
Well, I have two aunts, actually. My mom had one that raised her that passed away. Her name was Claire, and she's a great aunt on my mom's side, and I have one on my dad's side that I adore both of them, though. One's Lou and one's Claire.
Oh, boy. Okay, I'm trying to figure out. This is the one that's a little more intellectual. What's the one that's a little bit more like, probably a little bit more learned than maybe some people around her? Which one is that?
That would be Claire.
Claire. Okay, she kind of represents a little bit of what you want to be.
Yeah.
She's a little more educated. She's a little bit more worldly. She's a little bit more, yeah, thank you. So, yeah, she's great. She actually is, did she read a lot of literature?
She was very open-minded to a lot of spirituality. Where y'all have to remember, I live in the Bible Belt. If it's not Jesus, it's not right, and it's very narrow-minded here. So
and sometimes Jesus is great, but not. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
But she was more open-minded and studied astrology and astronomy, and stuff like spiritual stuff. Yeah.
She's good, and she's very. I just kept getting this. That it's so funny. I get this shows my age, but I'm shown. The TV show The Waltons, and the Waltons had a woman, the mother, named Michael Learned, and her name was Michael Learned, but your aunt, is her name Cynthia? Is that what you said?
Claire.
Claire, Cynthia's a C. I keep saying a C. Okay, so Claire keeps showing me Michael Learned because she's more learned. She's more learned than other people around her. And it's not that she's saying that I'm better than anyone else. She's just a little bit like, okay, thank you. So she's saying that she's a little bit of what Kelly wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. And so, and it's great. I mean, I'm not kind of picking this up from her. I'm really feeling it from you right now. Is that, if she really was really understanding about metaphysics in this body, in this life, she can really help you in this in your life now. So really call on her more, talk to her more, really say, hey, what would you do in this situation? Because she could help you with your writing. That's what I think. She could really help to channel some writing for you, and she holds you in a very high esteem. She wants you. She's feeling. This is what see what I'm doing? She's wanting to lift you up. Okay. So just know she's there for you. Call on her. If you get stuck, or if you're walking around the house, or you have the ankle biters around you, just be like, hey, what would you do? Just ask her. Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to make it clear, I don't have any children. It's just
I know.
Yeah, it's my mom is raising 5 of the 8, so it's always something
going on. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. Yes. Great. Hard to find a place with no distractions. Put it that way.
Yeah, but they're a great source of inspiration and energy for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're just beautiful. I think it's really, really great. So, okay, yeah. So she's kind of like pulling away right now, but just know the main thing is call on her and see her. Thank you. And then I'm going to wrap up. There's a thing called the doppelganger. Kelly, I don't know do you know what a doppelganger is?
Yes, I'm familiar with it.
Okay, so a doppelganger is someone that, just so the audience knows, a doppelganger is somebody, I really understood this when I was an actor, is that you when you're doing a character, you go, okay, well, how would Arnold Schwarzenegger do it? How would Robert Downey Jr. do it? How would Marilyn Monroe do it? And that is kind of your doppelganger. And you kind of just become that person while you're doing the character. your aunt is kind of your doppelganger.
Okay.
She's the one that you want to go, you know, from the Bible Belt, how interesting. You know how they always say in the Bible Belt, WWJD, what would Jesus do?
Yeah.
You know, that whole thing. And say, WWCD, what would Claire do?
Okay.
And then
Makes
do
sense.
whatever she would do, and you're going to be, she was a very social, more out there person.
People would come to her, and especially with a religious matter or spiritual matter, people would come to her, and she kept everything confidential. So
I like her.
She was the one to go to.
Yeah.
She's greatly missed.
And she had a lot of what you know what I'm saying, cojones.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the main message from my point of view is to really remember WWCD. What would Claire do?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And then, Kelly, back to your book. When we were talking about your book, I was seeing that you would have like two parts, two smaller things before your book was done. But then, as Max was talking about your aunt, I was wondering like a little notebook, like a little that actually has like the spirals on top.
Uh-huh.
And then I was wondering, oh, well, do you write in that, or was that your aunt? Do you have?
Do you know that came up in the last reading I had? I have a daughter that's not born yet. She presented herself to me. She came up in the last reading, and she said the same thing. She's like handing him a notebook because I journaled a lot through my path, and she basically was, I think in hindsight, saying, get all your journals together and use that to go on.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so it's like this little spiral notebook, and I see like two of those, like you'll do something, complete something, but one of those little notebooks actually has some meaningful content. So you haven't done that. Have you done that yet?
I've gathered them all up. I just haven't
started
the process.
Definitely, I mean, I'm seeing one that's got blue on the outside, like a navy blue on the outside. It definitely has some meaningful content to it.
Okay.
So, I mean, they probably all do, but there's something to those little spirally notebooks to pay attention to, for sure.
Okay.
There's a link there.
Thank you.
So.
Okay. I'm just, sorry. I have to give you this really quickly. Is that there's an older male around you? I'm not sure. Okay. And then we're going to open up to questions, but there's an older male around you, Kelly. I'm not sure if he is here or not. He has a beard, and he's very he does this a lot, and he is very concerned, and he's very interested in you. I'm not sure who that is, if that's your father or your grandfather, but something is making me go, He's kind of scruffy, kind of like me. There's something about. Does that relate to somebody in your life?
As far as the beard, I'm not sure. Like, that could be my spirit guide, Mike, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. So you do work with the spirit guide. Okay. Yeah. There's somebody that's doing this to me and making me go, very concerned about you. Concerned. He's very kind of like interested and concerned, and I feel fatherly, grandfatherly, something guiding you. So
yeah, he appears to me in a white beard, navy robe most of the time. So he's, to me, in my eyes, I interpret that as older, wiser. So that makes a lot of sense, actually.
For sure, it's good. I just had to give that to you, and sometimes.
Thank you.
And you know what? I mean, really, like as you can see how Polly and I work, I'm not giving any form to it. If the form comes, I don't know what it is, and then it just kind of happens. So I just had to give you what I get. So
okay.
I hope that
I appreciate it.
Take those messages and they help you.
Thank you. Thank you both.
And I want to see, since I pulled up the name Shelley earlier, even though she's staying with you right now, I want to see if there's any reason why the name Shelley popped into our presence this afternoon. And I see, like, I actually feel like when I'm saying the name Shelley, I actually feel like she's whispering or she's talking into your ear a lot. But you don't have to say yes or no, you just think about it. If that's part of the reason why sometimes you feel pulled away. Like when I was talking earlier how you see what you want to do. You're taking these cautious baby steps, and you can't take these full strides that you want to take. But no, that's not quite. It's not. It's. I just feel when I'm talking to you about her, I just feel like she's communicating a lot in your ear. Like she talks to you a lot, or she shares with you a lot, or she's telling you what to do a lot. Something that she's.
It will probably go back to that where y'all said to surround myself with more successful people that inspire, and my Aunt Shelley is definitely one of those people.
Oh, awesome.
And if she's pulling me away, it's because she's asked me to move in with her like 2 or 3 times already.
Okay, well that's good. I mean, because I feel like, I feel it actually in my ear. Could be this little thing also, yeah. But I mean, I feel like she's talking, like there's, you hear her voice, or her presence is her voice. I guess that's the way to put it.
Yeah.
So maybe take heed in what she's saying, since her name popped up early in light of everything that we talked about today.
Definitely. Thank you. We communicate. I'm always on the phone with her, so that makes a little sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, in the ear.
Yeah.
All right. Good. I love it. All right. I'm just aware of time. I want to just come back to Melissa. Melissa, is there anything, this is usually what we do when we start wrapping up, Melissa, is there anything that you would like to bring up or ask of Polly or I or both of us, or anything that you would like to bring up?
Well, maybe from all those things that I am, and if I want to, like I guess making a living thing, because both those things require me to self-promote in a way, like I have to. So is that the way to go, or is it like still kind of doing some sort of job?
I think it's, I'm going to tell you exactly what I just got. I don't filter. What I just got right now is that you're going to get married. What I got right now is that you're going to get married, and a lot of these issues are going to alleviate themselves. That doesn't mean, and this is my coach talking, this is not my spirit guide talking, that does not mean that you let go of your dream of doing your stuff at all. But I feel that you are getting married soon. That somebody, are you?
I can't see that. Well, I am dating somebody, but I don't, we'll see.
When you asked me that question, the answer was marriage. So I think that I don't know. This, I'm just giving you what I get. Is that I do think that you are going to end up having a kind of that's going to be alleviated, because this person, great match. I think it's going to be the match for sure. Very hot guy. Feeling like it's going to alleviate a lot of those, like, well, what do I do for a living? But how do I make money? Whatever. It's going to alleviate that, and I think that's coming in the next year. I really do. And until then, thank you. But until then, you just keep, if you need to do something that's making you some money to pay your bills, and you're still, pursuing this other stuff that, is that where you're at right now?
Yeah.
Okay, keep doing that. Keep doing that. And the promotion and everything, remember what I said when I brought it up before, that withdrawings, don't push so much. Be more, work on your music, work on your coaching, read the books about coaching, read the books about music, practice your whatever you do with your music, work on your craft, and do your job to pay your rent, and then the other stuff is going to all kind of fall into place. But I think you're going to get married.
Well, thank you. Or whatever. Interesting.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
What I got was the Tree Williams deck, and it's about strength. So you're super strong, which you know that you're super strong. And it's also, if you rely on your knowledge base, that's going to give you a feeling of security. So rely on your knowledge base, because you know you have the ability, you're super strong, and then have fun.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you know you can do it.
Yes.
And So have the fun and just rely on your knowledge base, and you're good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa, for being on.
Yeah.
And your wonderful energy and just
Yeah, absolutely.
we all pray the best for everyone here, but
Yes.
you're just been great on the show. So
Yes.
So Kelly, before we kind of wrap up, is there anything that you'd like to ask us that we haven't covered, or it's been in the back of your mind?
I have a big controversy in my head over transportation. Can you ask what would be the best move to do on transportation?
I want to tell you this really quickly. I didn't say it before, but I thought it was kind of corny because you were talking about kind of being with the kids and the mother in the place. Kind of feeling like, oh, I'm sort of stuck here. I kept thinking that you're going to move, that you're moving somewhere. You're moving somewhere.
You're not the only person that said that.
I really feel like you're going to go
reading.
somewhere. I feel like you're going to go somewhere, and if you don't go somewhere because of circumstance, you need a shift in, well, this comes back to what I said before, is that being around different groups of people, being around, and I think that, I don't know if do you live in more of an in-between, not a rural area, but not the city, right?
I live out in the country.
Oh, it's rural. Okay. You need to be, you need to go to a place that has more energy and more people around. Definitely.
Well, I work in the city, though.
Oh, you do, but you need to live there.
Okay.
You need to live there. You need to live closer into it so it's not such a difference. You need to incorporate that into your soul. It kind of like, I just see that. And it's funny because I just pulled up the let go, meaning really let go of what is so you can move into something new. And I think that does have to do with you moving.
Yeah, okay? In my astrology chart, they said that, basically I get my inspiration and feed off of other people, and for 5 months living on the Rocky Mountain, I was very depressed. I didn't have other people to feed off of. So, the energy inspires and gets me moving in the right direction. I think a lot of people are like that, though.
I agree.
And I got to say with Melissa, she seems, I'm a clairvoyant, by the way, I'm certified.
Yeah, I know.
She seems like the type of person that doesn't confide in a whole lot of people. She handles her own business, and she's definitely going to be successful within months of whatever she puts her head to. Whenever it comes, Melissa, it's going to be like, okay, you've made up your mind, and you focused on it, and it's just going to unfold like bam, like that.
Oh, love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Nice. Polly, do you want to say anything for Kelly before we wrap up?
So, Kelly, I pulled, when you were asking about your transportation, I pulled the no card, and possibly just to say reevaluate what the choices you're looking at, right? And then I also pulled the gamble card, which is really, take the next step.
Okay.
You have the ability to present yourself more to others and to take the next step. You just need to do it. And honestly, it's not like I see it right in front of you. It's not. You are looking up and you're walking. Literally, here we go again with the light. But you literally are looking up and walking towards it. So you just take the next step. Okay. And the very first thing that I wrote down about you, besides the baby steps, the balloons and celebrate new beginnings. And so I would just say that this is the perfect time in your life to take the next step.
Okay. And
make it new beginnings. You are an author, and you're going to put yourself in the environment to create.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you both.
All right. Give yourself a round of applause.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel so blessed to have just to be here, just to give the messages, to connect with all of you, and also, we had last week on our first show, there was people that emailed me, a few of them that said, the messages you were giving to Cindy were my messages. The messages you're giving to Beth. So it's it's universal. This is universal stuff here, everyone, and that's why Polly and I decided to do this, because we know these messages are universal. So even if it's not for you, it's for you. So we will be back. Yeah, we will be back here next week, the same time, Thursdays at 3 o'clock Pacific and 6 o'clock Eastern for Divine Messages. And I'll give my spiel, and then Polly will give her spiel, and we'll say a little prayer. Is that if you want anything to know more about what I do personally, you can go to attractpositiveresults.com. I have videos there. You can sign up for 5 days of Law of Attraction videos. And also I have a radio show. You can listen to literally more than 150 hours of radio shows if you want to go into that. And we also, Polly and I also did the Positive Principle show, which was last winter, and it just ended. We're going to bring it back, and so you can watch those on the YouTube channel. And just so all of you know, is that right now during July, I'm having a Christmas in July sale. If you would like a full reading, it's an hour and a half on Skype or on the phone, whatever, or on a Google Hangout with me, you can get 2 for 1. So you save $150, and you can go to attractpositiveresults.com if that's interesting to you. And also, I have my signature program, Attract Positive Results. It's the nuts and bolts of Law of Attraction, and it's in 5 videos, and you learn everything about Law of Attraction. And right now in July, it's only $25. So it's not going to really be that again. So for $25, really, for the price of a couple cups of Starbucks, you can learn to change your life. I mean, literally. And people know this. When you learn this stuff, you apply it to everything, and you start to become a master manifester. And that's a really awesome investment. So you can go to Attract Positive Results to get that. And also, I do coaching. So anything about me, go there. And I hope to see you again next week. Polly, what do you have to say?
Thank you, Max, and I have to. I love working with Max and everything that he does. And we just, like we were talking about earlier, we just did an event in Alaska together that was a lot of fun. We're going to do one in Southern California, August 9th, and then we have some others that are mapped out, working together, which are really fun, and where we get messages together, and then we also do workshops where we hold them for the public, and it was awesome. And then my website at Gateways to Peace, and that's with the number 2. I do readings and coachings, and then locally I do groups. And for the month of July, I will do one. So you can either, plan to have 2 readings for yourself over a year, or find a friend. Just contact me, and we will make it all work out. But thank you so much for joining us. And again, it is an honor for you to spend time with you. Thank you, thank you.
Polly, before you cut out right around the time that you said what you're offering for people. Can you say that once again?
Oh, it's 2 readings for the price of 1.
Yeah, same with me. So we're both doing the 2 for 1.
Yep.
Great. Great, Polly. Thank you so much for your love and compassion and care for everyone that comes on, and for being really true to source and letting it come through. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I want to tell you before we're going to say a final prayer and wrap up, is that if you want to be like Melissa and like Kelly and be on the show, we picked 2 people. I think, let me look. We have the next 2 weeks are booked, but you have to be able to be available, be on camera on Thursdays at this exact time. And it's about an hour and a half commitment. And if you want to be, please go to attractpositiveresults.com, and you will see, well, actually, on the page where you might be watching this right now, there are ways to do that. You can send an email to info@attractpositiveresults.com and say, I want to be a divine participant. I love that. A divine participant. Of course you're a divine participant. I love that. So if you want to do that, then we are definitely taking people. There's some people that can do a couple weeks. So please let us know. We would love to help you in any way. All right. So should we say our final prayer?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's close our eyes. Take a big deep breath. Thank you so much, Divine Source, Universe, God, Goddess, and all that is. We thank you for this time together. We thank you for the messages that have been given and received today. We ask that all these messages that have been given and received today be layered and laced with the most love and compassion and care that is truly from the divine source. We bless everyone here listening. We bless everyone in our communities. We bless everyone in our states. We bless everyone in our country. And, of course, we bless everyone on this world and this planet, including animals and plants and all sentient beings. And take a big deep breath. And we say thank you very much. And so it is. Amen.
That was beautiful, Max. Thank you. That was very nice.
Thank you. All right. Thanks again to Melissa and to Kelly. And namaste, everyone. Have a wonderful week. We will see you next week at the same time. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. See ya.
Thank you.